Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Red Devils TV. Now let's get right into the video. We've had breaking news that's kind of gone absolutely bonkers this afternoon, to be honest. So anyway, let's get right into the video. So today we've received news that Manchester United will receive 100 to 150 million pounds in budget. 1 second. Oh no, what a start that is. There we go. But United have received news out today that United are going to receive 100 to 150 million sterling for the summer transfer window, which is brilliant news in my opinion, because I would definitely didn't think we'd be getting over 100 million in this transfer window. And the reason why I've titled the thumbnail 200 million budget, and that's because Dean Henderson's already practically out his way out the door. And furthermore, with Manchester United, we're going to make more sales throughout the summer. So after all the sales plus more, you know, United could actually generate up to a £200 million transfer budget, which is absolutely crazy in my opinion, because at the end of the day, that will give a lot of investment. I think we can get certain players in, like the likes of Diogo Costa, maybe a Victor Osimhen, Caicedo, if we want to make a big sign. Obviously, you've got the likes of Mason Mount, Højlund, I said Diogo Costa, Kim Min-jae, all these players that we're linked to. And I personally feel like that Erik Ten Hag can actually get a decent squad and decent transfers. So the fact that, and this is also with the Glazers in charge of the club. So I'm going to guess that the Glazers aren't planning to sell up in time for the summer transfer window to be open, because obviously the summer transfer window opens in exactly a week today. So make that do with what you want. It opens on the 14th of June. So yeah, but anyway, everyone make sure you like the stream and subscribe if you are new as well. But anyway, welcome back to Red Devils TV, and like I've just said, make sure you leave a like on the stream and subscribe if you are new and join the Red Devils TV family. But anyway, like I said, possible £200 million budget. Now with this, I'll just quickly read out the article, and it says that here that United will receive 100 to 150 million budget this summer before player sales. With Dean Henderson already close to signing a permanent deal with Nottingham Forrest for a reported fee of £30 million, Manchester United are looking to receive and spend up to £200 million this summer, potentially more, with the likes of Harry Maguire, Alex Telles, Eric Bailey, Dean Henderson, Anthony Martial, plus more. Erik Ten Hag could increase the squad depth quality drastically, which will hopefully lead us to signing players like Victor Osimhen and Caicedo, like I've just mentioned. So anyway, with this news, it's kind of brilliant to hear almost, because it does seem that even with the Glazers, they're still giving Erik Ten Hag backing, which was the massive fear that the Glazers weren't going to put up any investments. But they probably aren't going to put any investments. It's probably what the club's actually generated over the previous season. So realistically, the Glazers are just going to spend what United have already generated in revenue. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this news, to be honest. And we've just received breaking news as well, that in the last hour, that Sheikh Jassim for Qatar, we did a video on Qatar yesterday where the report was saying that Qatar are losing the race against Sergeant Ratcliffe. But today, Sheikh Jassim has put in a reported and improved bid that is supposed to match an overall estimate of what Sergeant Ratcliffe says. But Sheikh Jassim is ready to pay up front when Sergeant Ratcliffe's is he pays about 4 billion straight up, and then eventually buys out the Glazers, and they could possibly earn more money that way. So for me, obviously, the Glazers are probably going to hold on to United like it's an investment now, not that it's their business anymore. So that's kind of an improvement. I guess that the Glazers are going to be taking a massive step back with Manchester United. But also, for me, I personally feel like that with the Glazers, it's good. It's good that the Glazers are going to be leaving, but like I said, Sheikh Jassim is now getting frustrated, and SkySports are the ones who brought this breaking news, saying that Sheikh Jassim is now getting frustrated with trying to compete with Sergeant Ratcliffe. This is his final bid, and it's a take it or leave it type situation. For me, I feel like this is kind of fake news, and this is kind of Sheikh Jassim bluffing. But it would also be very idiotic if he was to spend over the estimated value of what's been reported, which is £6.5 billion. Now, with that reported fee, is absolutely crazy in my opinion. But if Sheikh Jassim wants to buy Manchester United, he wants to buy Manchester United. But really, if you're paying anything over £7 billion for, if you're paying anything over £7 billion for Manchester United, it's kind of you're losing a battle here to the Qataris. And I don't understand why the Glazers won't do it. But again, the Glazers are greedy, and no doubt they have their own intentions in mind. But moving on swiftly, that David De Gea rejects Saudi Arabia. Now, the report, again, like today, we've had so many reports with Manchester United. And also, breaking news as well, if you don't know, just for non-United fans who may be watching, that Jude Bellingham today has officially signed for Real Madrid. So that will be a brilliant signing for them. They seem to be spending a lot of money this summer. But David De Gea rejects Saudi Arabia. Now, this was a report from David Ornstein of the ESPN, and he's turned around and said that player negotiations, David De Gea has rejected an offer from Saudi Arabia in a deal worth reportedly a €100 million deal for 2 years, with an extra possible year. As the player wants to, as David De Gea wants to stay and play for Manchester United, despite whether his first choice for goalkeeping position is guaranteed. So that's pretty much saying that David De Gea is willing to still play for Manchester United. He wants to play under Erik Ten Hag and this new team. And he doesn't care whether, obviously, he cares to a certain extent, but he doesn't mind that he may not be the number one goalkeeper. I respect that. And I personally feel like that all the United fans out there that are giving David De Gea slander and stick for not being a good enough goalkeeper and just say, oh, it's just now loyalty that these fans are clinging on to David De Gea. It's clear David De Gea has loyalty towards us as well. And that's where loyalty is earned. You have loyalty towards each other. Fans have loyalty towards David De Gea for the amount of time he's been a servant to this club. And David De Gea wants to stay at Manchester United. Obviously, we signed him from Atletico Madrid many years ago, nearly or over 10 years ago now. And David De Gea has proven to be an exceptional goalkeeper over the years. Yes, he is outdated. And yes, I feel like with the distribution, I personally feel like that David De Gea is still one of the best goalkeepers in the world when it comes to shot stopping. And people claiming the likes of his distribution, his coming for crosses isn't good enough. It's not like it's his height or his speed or his reflexes or anything like that. His distribution and coming for crosses can be coached. It's something that he can get better at. And this is what I'm trying to talk about, that David De Gea can improve as a player. So for me, I personally feel like that with David De Gea, it's clear he wants to stay at Manchester United. And again, for me, it's perfect because I want David De Gea to stay. I still think that he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world when it comes to shot stopping. I think that him and Courtois are the best in that category. I'd say that if you're going to go for the best all-round goalkeeper, I'd probably say Alisson from Liverpool. But when it comes to shot stopping, De Gea is better than Alisson. And I say De Gea is on par with Courtois. And Courtois, for me, is a very exceptional goalkeeper. And they're the two top goalkeepers in the world when it comes to shot stopping, in my opinion. So when people moan about distribution and coming for crosses, that can be coached. And no doubt David De Gea will understand the criticism he's received over the season. Erik Ten Hag will have a made amount of notes to give David De Gea advice and coaching-wise. Because Erik Ten Hag will probably sit down with David De Gea and be like, look, this has happened, all right? You give the ball away this many times in this match. Your passing accuracy is this. Your claiming for crosses is this rate, etc., etc., etc. Erik Ten Hag will have all this ready for David De Gea. And it'll be like, right, this is what you need to improve on. So we're going to put you under this development plan of passing, this, and this. And we'll see how you improve from there. And over the summer, I will guarantee you David De Gea will improve with his distribution and claiming for crosses. Now, this might come to bite me in the backside. But for me, I personally rate what Erik Ten Hag's development plan is for David De Gea. It's clear David De Gea knows there's a plan in place and he wants to stay, whether he's the first team goalkeeper or not. And even if we get Diogo Costa and David De Gea is our backup, goalkeeper, for me, that you can't go wrong with that. Diogo Costa is an exceptional, upcoming, promising goalkeeper, and David De Gea is a veteran of the club who's a grandmaster at shot stopping, and he's absolutely brilliant. So even if David De Gea was to become our number 2 goalkeeper, what's the issue in that? For Carabao Cup games, for lower teams in the Premier League, I personally feel like that'd be a brilliant member of the squad to have. Jarvis, nice to see you, pal. Thank you for coming on the channel. Obviously, Jarvis, if you ever want to be joining the panel and be talking here with me, you're more than welcome to. So let me know if you'd ever be interested in that. But yeah, thank you for commenting, pal. But anyway, bigger news as well. Obviously, we just talked about David De Gea, but Marcus Rashford. Now, Marcus Rashford, the English international, we know how good Marcus Rashford is, but he's had a sensational season for Manchester United this season, scoring 30 goals in all competitions and gaining 41 goal contributions in all competitions. So that's 11 assists on top of his 30 goals that he's received all season. And he's earned rewards throughout the season, such as Premier League Player of the Month twice, Manchester United's Player of the Year, and Players' Player of the Year. Marcus Rashford is clear to probably be one of United's best players throughout this season. And for me, I personally feel like that with Marcus Rashford, he is 100% deserving of this new contract, in my opinion. Jarvis saying, agree, Diogo Costa is mint. He is a very good goalkeeper. And with Diogo Costa, I kind of give him slander after the World Cup because he didn't really impress in the World Cup. But I've watched him throughout when he's played for Porto for the rest of the season. I've caught about 3 or 4 games. I watched the game against Braga and Sporting Lisbon. I watched them games and Diogo Costa played really well in them games. Obviously, I'm not going to watch him every single game, but from the games that I've watched him and the clips I've seen on social media, he's a very good upcoming goalkeeper. And Jarvis, you are correct. He's absolutely mint. But back to Marcus Rashford. Now, with Marcus Rashford, like I said, he's an absolute deserving of this new contract. And it's obviously Marcus Rashford's contract was supposed to end this season. But obviously, Erik Ten Hag has renewed the 1-year extension in his contract. And now it's looking at Marcus Rashford is going to be earning a new 4 to 5 year deal contract with an extra year as an option. And he will be receiving a total of a reported £250,000 to £300,000 a week. Now, I don't know how I feel about this because it is a lot of money. But when the likes of Jadon Sancho are on these wages, when the likes of Bruno Fernandes are almost on these wages, David De Gea, all these players, Marcus Rashford, after the season he's had, is deserving of it. But I'll kind of want it to be like Garnacho's contract, where you have a stepped wage where you earn weekly, where obviously Garnacho's now on £50,000 a week. And then if he makes more success, obviously win more trophies, whether he gets a certain goal bonus, then eventually your wage will go up. So that's how I feel like United should be doing their contracts from now on. Because Erik Ten Hag, obviously, with the Ronaldo effect with wages, we really have to cut down on wages. So for me, I personally feel like that if we're going to offer Marcus Rashford a new contract to £300,000 a week, reportedly, then we've got to try and decrease someone like Sancho's contract or David De Gea's contract, which is being reported. And in the past, I think it was 3 weeks ago, Fabrizio Romano reported that David De Gea is willing to take a pay reduction. So for me, that's brilliant because obviously, if we're going to be giving Marcus Rashford a new contract, we need to kind of bring the wage bill down so we know that we're still kind of evening everything out. But as well, with Marcus Rashford, you've got no arguments against it. He is definitely deserving of this new contract, in my opinion. But pretty much that's the most breaking news. And I've not put it as a banner here, but Sheikh Dizim as well, we've already quickly mentioned it. But with Sheikh Dizim, obviously he's reported to have put in a new bid for Manchester United, which is worth $6.5 billion, which is going to be great because I'm pro Qatar, and I personally feel like that it is the best option because Qatar, our Sheikh Dizim, is ready to buy Manchester United out now. He's ready to improve the infrastructure. He's ready to invest into the team. And if United want to progress quickly and challenge with the likes of Man City, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, all these gigantic teams in Europe, then we need to have it to go through a quick process. Like Newcastle, for me, are taking their time. And considering they're only in their second season of super wealth almost, I personally feel like that they're taking too long and signing the wrong players. I mean, you look at the players signed like Anthony Gordon in January. That season, that signing made no sense. He's proved to be a spoilt child. He's proved to not be good enough. I didn't rate him at Everton, and I don't know why Eddie Howe saw a play with him in like that. Thomas Williams saying, "Hey Dan, you all right, pal? Nice to see you." And Jarvis saying, "Controversial opinion. I don't think it's wise to offer Rashford a big contract. Looking at his performances over the past 3 seasons." I do agree on that, and I wouldn't say it's a controversial opinion, but you are right. With evidence repeating itself, Marcus Rashford has had a great season once, a good season once, and a terrible season once. So it's not like he's been sensational for the last 3 seasons. So Jarvis, you do make a good point here. But as well, with Marcus Rashford, I personally feel like that none of them 2 previous seasons, obviously, had a good season under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and then last season where Ole got sacked and we had Ralph Rangnick, Marcus Rashford was all over the place and scored about 4 or 5 goals in all competitions. It was a terrible season for Marcus Rashford. But they weren't under Erik Ten Hag. And under Erik Ten Hag, it seems that Marcus Rashford is going to be the main guy. And I made a point on my stream yesterday talking about Marcus Rashford. United actually might not go for a main number 9. Marcus Rashford might actually become our main number 9. And then someone like Højlund from Atlanta, the Atlantan striker, is supposed to be coming in and be an understudy to Marcus Rashford, or maybe Marcus Rashford and Højlund will play alongside each other and kind of develop some sort of partnership. I'm not too sure, but with the reported £200 million budget to spend in the summer, that could look likely, and Højlund could be a very realistic transfer, in my opinion. And Jarvis also says he hasn't been consistently impressive. I don't believe he deserves a weekly salary of 350k. And I agree. And I do feel like 350k is absolutely bonkers. And considering Erik Ten Hag wants to put in place that he wants to do a wage cap, I feel like in the Premier League that's not going to work. I mean, you look at Erling Haaland, the amount of bonuses he's going to receive this season, especially if City win the treble. And I believe that he's supposed to receive, if he wins the Ballon d'Or, I think he earns up to £2 million in bonuses, which is crazy. So I feel like that Manchester United need to be, we're in that much of a mess already that it's hard to reward players who are playing better than certain others when the other players who are playing poorly have massive contracts. So like Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho has not had a very impressive season for Manchester United. Last 2 seasons, in fact. He didn't play well last season as well, in my opinion. So for me, Jadon Sancho being on £350,000 a week is absolutely crazy. Same with Anthony Martial. Martial's constantly injured. He's on 250 grand a week. The amount of wages that them 2 players are on is ridiculous. So Manchester United kind of need to negotiate and sort something out when it comes to contracts, because players like Casemiro, Lisandro Martinez, Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford, who had a very impressive season for Erik Ten Hag, deserve a pay rises almost. And then the likes of Anthony Martial, Harry Maguire, Scott McTominay, all these other players who haven't had very good seasons for under Erik Ten Hag deserve their wages to be dropped. But then there's been reports today that Harry Maguire and the Spurs deal is looking unlikely now, because with Manchester United qualifying for the Champions League, Harry Maguire's wages have increased to £200,000 a week from £180,000 a week. So that's a part of the clause in his contract. So now Spurs are now looking at that and be like, £200,000 a week, they want 40 million for Harry Maguire. We can't do this deal. So either United accept about 20 million for Harry Maguire and then we pay off his wages, or we don't go for the player. And for me, Harry Maguire is a decent player, but he's not United quality. That's the way I stand with Harry Maguire. And I do feel like he could go on to have a very promising career, whether it's in Italy, whether it's in another team for England. I personally feel like with Harry Maguire, his career and his future is not at Manchester United. But that's just my opinion. Don't know how everyone else feels about that. But pretty much that's been everything. I liked this quick stream. So thank you everyone that's tuned in. Jarvis and Thomas, thank you so much for commenting. Appreciated as always. But yes, we're on the road to 700 subscribers. I believe we're on 679 or 680 or something. So if you could please subscribe and share the channel around, share the video, leave a like, you know everything that you need to do. But honestly, everyone, thank you so much to everyone that's tuned in for tonight, for this afternoon. And I'll see you all tomorrow, and the stream will continue as normal. We'll have an afternoon stream and an evening stream at 7:30 p.m. and the stream in the afternoon tomorrow. I'm not sure what it'll be yet, but we have a guest coming on as well tomorrow evening who's a fan of Twitter. So we're going to be getting him on. So make sure you tune in for the evening show. And anyway, thank you for watching and stay tuned for Red Devils TV. And because we're just going bigger and better, we're doing daily content as always. So yes, thank you for watching